podcast, but we haven't quite decided yet, but we're going to keep doing it anyway. I'm Colby.
And I'm the darkness in your heart that can only be unlocked by a giant key. Blade. But you can call me Fee.
Yeah, baby! It's that week!
It happened. It happened. Weren't we talked? I swear we talked about this last week.
Yeah, I feel like recently we were talking about Kingdom Hearts. And sure enough, just because, listen, I knew that there was going to be a 20th anniversary event that was coming up.
I just thought it was going to be new remasters.
I didn't think it was going to be new remasters. I thought it was just going to, I didn't expect the announcements that we got. I expected a new mobile game. That's what I expected.
I expected them to just remaster all the DS games, like instead of having them that one video, just remaster them like Chain of Memories.
Mm-hmm.
So I expected that, maybe a remaster of Part 1 and 2 again.
Third time?
A third time. Not like, I mean, it looks good, but like kind of give it the better graphics, just give it a graphical overhaul.
Yeah,
you know.
No, that takes too much effort, and they're
maybe
not
just Part 1 then.
No, I don't think they're even going to do that.
No, I don't think so.
If you had asked me, I would have said mobile game, and maybe because there's already a Kingdom Hearts mobile game. It's called Kingdom Hearts. Oh God.
You're spiraling. You're dying. You're dying.
I've forgotten it. Kingdom Hearts. Cross.
Kingdom Santorum.
No.
What?
Close.
Very close.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on.
It's called the Santorum.
God, it's UX, but what does that mean?
Oh,
Union Cross.
Union Cross.
Yes, Kingdom Hearts
Good
Union
job,
Cross. Woo, thank you. Yes, so Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is the mobile game that's currently out, and I figured they would be, because I knew that game was ending. I follow a person on YouTube who summarizes the story. That way I don't have to play it. And so,
yeah, and it's also like really, I'm not gonna say awful, but because people play it, but it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it's not a game that I am really interested in playing. I tried. I definitely played it right whenever it was first released, and then I was like,
yeah,
no,
same.
I think I'm good.
It's just you just wander around a little arena and tap on enemies, and I wasn't feeling it, dude. I just really wasn't it.
But the thing is, it has unfortunately, some of the deepest and most important story.
Yeah, it has the deepest lore.
It's the worst.
It has the pre-Kingdom Hearts 1 lore. Isn't that the shitty, all the games that you don't really feel like playing from Kingdom Hearts has all the goddamn lore?
Yeah, that's always been the case though. I mean, ever since the first offshoot game, ever since Chain of Memories. Everybody was like, well, you don't need to play Chain of Memories in order to play Kingdom Hearts 2, but you really kind of did. Know what was
going on.
Yeah, it was a struggle if you were playing Kingdom Hearts 2 and you hadn't played Chain of Memories. You'd be like, who are these people? Why is Sora in a flower? What is happening here?
Yeah, who's Naminé?
Yeah.
Who's the organization? And you wake up what is it, a year later, right?
I think so,
A year later. And you're grown up, and you're like, well, what happened? People who didn't play Chain of Memories.
You're like,
that's where it started spiraling. Once they released Part 1, and they were just like, yeah, everything's canon. And then Chain of Memories, and they're like, yeah, it's canon. It's pre-Kingdom Hearts 2. And that was really dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Part 2, it was just an avalanche of, well, we're just going to release things on everything, and you have to play everything if you want the whole lore. Or not, you could just wait for the sequel.
Yeah.
And the sequel didn't come until 10 years later.
Yeah, everything under the sun was made, right? There was the game that happened right before Chain of Memories, but after Kingdom Hearts 1, which was
Recoded.
358 over 2 days. Yeah, there was Recoded, which takes place, I think, around the same time, but with the heroes. There was Dream Drop Distance.
A digital memory.
Yep, there's Dream Drop Distance that happened after Kingdom Hearts 2. There's Birth by Sleep that happened before any of the mainline games.
Yeah, before it's a prequel.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even like a direct prequel. It's like a prequel that happened a number of years before like the Sora thing happened.
Yeah, but you have to play it to understand why Ventus is important and why he looks like Roxas and how he's connected to Sora and how Terra is connected and how he was controlled by Xehanort and is now a Xehanort, I guess not clone, but I guess possession?
Yeah.
Clone?
He's been possessed by Xehanort, yes.
And then why Aqua is the next Keyblade Master and how she like is going down her dark path. And then they also introduced Xehanort and Xemnas. Are like you already knew about them, but like you get to see their true forms.
Yeah, so like Xehanort was the villain in the first one, and then they were like, well, it's Xemnas now. It's the nobody of Xehanort. And it's Ansem with an X in it. And you're like, oh, that's okay. And then the longer that you go in, I had forgotten about this, but like, so Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out eventually, right? Like they have Union Cross that's out. They have all these other games that are out, and they finally released 3, and it was pretty underwhelming in a lot of ways. I forgot.
It was fun control.
Oh yeah, it was really fun, like as far as like the combat and stuff goes, but a lot of the worlds felt really empty, and the story got very weird.
Sora was dumbed down like to a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and I was watching today. I was watching like a catch up video, and I forgot that there was a part of the plot where they were like, well, we need 13 darknesses and 7 lights to open up Kingdom Hearts, right? So that this makes sense. I think this is a thing that was established in Kingdom Hearts 1. Okay, that's fine. But the 13 darknesses, they were like, they're going to be 13 different Xehanorts, and I was like, this doesn't track. But
there are 13 different Xehanorts, and one from the past, and one from the future, and a couple of possessed people, and a nobody, and a heartless. Just what?
Yeah, they were like, okay, well, the old man has a bunch of like, there are 6 heartlesses associated with him. There's Xehanort, there's Xemnas, there's old man Xemnas, there's young Xehanort, there's Riku Replica, and I was like, Riku Replica? Excuse me?
You know when Ansem / Xehanort controlled him in part 1 for that brief like a few hours.
Yeah. But by the way, can I just mention, number one, like we're getting very deep into the Kingdom Hearts lore, and we're gonna keep getting even deeper. Just bear with us because this train don't stop. Can I just say that Kingdom Hearts 1 is the only game in which you're like, wow, Sora is like better than Riku. Sora's like pure of heart, and he like kicks ass. And even though Riku thinks he's great, he's not all that great. And then in every other game, Riku can and will kick his ass regularly. Like,
just
Riku
all the time.
Riku in every other game, like part 2, he's like he's in a form that looks like young Xehanort. That's also another one of Xehanort's heartlesses, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And they save him from that, and then he like at the end of the game, it's like Sora and Riku kicking ass together. So you're like, wow, they're on the same level. That's cool. And then you play Dream Drop Distance, and Sora just completely and royally fucks up his Keyblade exam, and they're like, well, the only one here who actually should be the Keyblade Master is Riku. Riku's like, what? Okay,
Let's give him a storage locker key.
It's very, give him a uniform. And from that point onward, like, he's the one that talks the most sense. He's the Keyblade Master. He has the power of awakening. He has the, like, and then Sora is there too. And he also has those things, but he's less good at it. And you're like, why am I this kid then?
Yeah, why? I guess because they don't want to make him OP. Like, Sora's like it's because he's pure heart. Like, Riku's been swayed by the darkness, and like he's been in the dark side of Kingdom Hearts, and like he's fell in the dark, and he's just always like questioning himself. Where Sora's like, no, you're a bad guy. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
that's why Sora's, like, I guess the protagonist, because everybody likes Sora and everyone's like, well, I don't know about that Riku guy.
Yeah, I don't know. This Ryu guy seems like he could turn at any moment. And Riku's like, I've been good almost the whole time. Like, shut
And then
up.
somehow Maleficent is also in the background doing evil things, just randomly.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 has a subplot about everybody trying to find a box. And my favorite thing about that is that, number one, you don't, like, you're introduced to this box in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. And number two, you never find out what's in the box.
They pull a Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was 7. 7 was the one.
Yeah, and it's just like crazy. Kingdom Hearts is a franchise that you shouldn't invest yourself in unless you plan on just doing a deep lore dive if you've never played Kingdom Hearts before.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Like the amount of like backstory that you need in order to sort of like actually appreciate the game takes it takes a while to understand, and the thing is, it's not stopping either. Like this Union Cross stuff is still going.
Even the people that like explain it are like, no, most of it are still like, well, I mean, this could be true, and we're still this. I'm telling you everything, but this still might change.
Yeah.
Like, because Kingdom Hearts 1 was cut and dry. It was like, well, Ansem's the bad guy, and then you fight him at the end, and it's a Kingdom Hearts 1 by all means is a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
You fight a boss that turns into a ship, and you go and like kick his ass, and then you find out that Kingdom Hearts is light, and then when the door opens, there's darkness behind it, and you have to seal it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like real cut and dry. There was no fucking Keyblade graveyard. There was no nothing. And then they hinted at the organization and Riku with the dual Keyblades with the secret ending if you beat if you got the secret ending.
Yep. And the thing is, like, all the way through Kingdom Hearts 1, there was one Keyblade. They were like, you wield the Keyblade. The Keyblade. Just the one.
There's and they tell you, they're like, there's only one, and it's very picky, and it can't be replicated, and it's the only thing that can open and close the door of the darkness. And now, current day, everyone has a Keyblade. Just everybody.
Yeah, I think while I was watching, I was trying to name off all of the Keyblade wielders that were like in the final fight. And there is Axel, Roxas, Shion, Kairi, Sora, Riku, Terra, Aqua, Ventus, Mickey.
So weird.
I think that's it on the hero side, maybe?
Yeah. And it's so weird that Mickey has a Keyblade.
Yeah.
Everyone is like humanoid. They look Rio and stuff. And then you got fucking Mickey Mouse just bouncing around like Yoda from Soul Calibur 4.
Yes.
With a Keyblade.
It's so good. Like, nothing bad can ever happen to Mickey because of Disney. Like, Disney won't let that happen.
Yeah, and he's not even the best Keyblade wielder.
The thing is, he's supposed to be, kind of. Like, he's a Keyblade master, and he's also a king, and he's just doing helpful things everywhere, right? Like, you don't ever really know what Mickey is up to. You just know that he's out there trying to help.
He pops up every once in a while.
Yeah, like exactly. He's like, I've been traveling in the darkness looking for our friends. And you're like, yeah, I've been out here like slaying Heartless and shit. What have you been doing? Oh, I was eating cheese. I mean, looking for our friends.
I was deep in the dark. And where you can't go. So
you
I've
can't
been doing
go
a lot
there
more than you.
because you don't have a coat like me.
Oh my god, he looks so stupid in Kingdom Hearts 2 with the goddamn coat.
The coat's so good.
Oh
I
no,
love
it's
him
so
in the
dumb.
coat.
I hated it. You just see his stupid rat face over his coated body, and it's dumb. And then he takes it off, and I thought he was wearing what Sora was wearing, and I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. But I forget, like, his normal appearance is just red pants and nothing. Mm-hmm. But they gave him a shirt, and he looks strange in it.
Yeah, and they also just added some zippers and shit because Nomura
That's because
whatever.
Fucking Tetsuno Nomura has a belt fetish.
So, yeah, we get up to the point where, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is a thing, right? And the story at this point is bonkers. There's the mobile game is, like, deeply intrinsic to everything. And it's, it's we've gotten to the point where it's almost ridiculous to think of a time in which Kingdom Hearts was simple, because it used to be like Kingdom Hearts 1, things got a little complicated for Kingdom Hearts 2 and Chain of Memories. They were like, okay, well now if you become heartless, what happens to your body and your soul? Well, then that becomes a nobody, and nobodies can think, but they can't feel. They don't remember what it is like to have emotions. And you're like, oh, okay, I kind of get that. I kind of can get behind that. And then like there's negative energy, and that's the unversed, and those are a separate entity. And you're like,
I forgot about the unversed.
You can't forget about the unversed. It's deeply important to Kingdom Hearts 3D.
And then you got your little animal spirits in 3D.
Yeah. And for the mobile game, you also have Chirithy, which is like a little stuffed animal cat thing that is a friend, and I think every Keyblade wielder gets one. And that Chirithy shows up later in Kingdom Hearts 3 in this place called the Final World, which is kind of like the afterlife or purgatory, but it's basically like, if you've ever seen the background of the screen for the song Brain Power, it's like that, where it's just like an infinite void of like a watery kind of surface and then blue sky and clouds.
Oh yeah, that place. Graphically that is a great place. It's beautiful, but I didn't know what was going on when like I was like, what the fuck am I doing when I got there?
Yeah, and you end up there a number of times, actually.
Yeah. I got, whenever your loading screen is loading all the Kingdom Hearts characters' tweets that they're tweeting. Fucking, oh my god. I love Kingdom Hearts so much, but goddamn is it stupid.
Yeah, listen, whenever Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I had to decide. I said, you know what? I can't play every game. I can catch up on all the story, and it's not up to me to decide how much is too much, because it was too much a long time ago. And I've just got to be along for the ride now. You know what I mean? Like,
it was too much after part 2, because in my opinion, part two felt great. It was well paced. Mm-hmm. Everything was like really good. The story beats hit real hard when they wanted to. Mm-hmm. Goofy died for a minute.
Goofy did die. I remember that. He hit his head.
It's okay. I've taken a few lunks to the head. And Donald gets all sad and they cry and they fight in a big heartless and nobody fucking battlefield. Mm-hmm. The Disney worlds they go to are all really good. They retread some old places. It's good. And then after that, it just started spiraling into bullshit.
Yes.
It just
It feels like in every game they had to introduce like their own system and their own way of doing things, and as a result the lore got crazy. And everything has it was basically Ansem is the bad guy. And then in Kingdom Hearts 2 and Chain of Memories, Ansem was still the bad guy, but technically it was because he has like a nobody as well. So you're like, okay, I'm willing to accept this second thing, right?
Yeah.
And then it became, well, there's actually the true form of Xehanort, and Xehanort actually is, you're in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, your Keyblade teacher, his best friend is Xehanort, and Xehanort traps your friends and possesses Terra, and you're like,
I know.
God, okay.
And like you get this lore not just by playing the game, but by collecting all of like these notes that are left all over the world.
Yep. Yeah, you got to get the papers.
You have to read them, and you have to not just read them, but you have to read them and understand them and get them in order. Or else,
as we all know, reading is not Fee's strong suit.
No, God no. Someone tell me. I'd rather like it. They had like a what's it called, an audio diary, because if I'm reading it, I'll like read, and if it's like more than one paragraph, I'll read the one paragraph and start the second and be like, wait, what was in that first paragraph?
Wait,
Just
God, I don't care.
Forget. God, how I don't care. But like part 1 and 2 were grounded. You're Sora, you're getting strong as you're fighting people, and then in part 3 you're fucking running up walls and flying and diving off shit and using like parkour.
Yeah.
Which wasn't in any of the other ones. It's just in this one now. You're just a fucking parkour master. And now your Keyblade can transform. Not just to be a Keyblade, but a hammer, or guns, or a whip, or daggers, or you're like, whoa. Because in every Kingdom Hearts, they add something new. So like part 1, it was just basic. You got magic and summons, and your Keyblade transformed when you hooked a keychain to it. Part 2, you got forms. Your clothes were magic, so then you can get different forms, and then eventually wield 2 blades, and you got 2 different Keyblades and your magic and summons, and then it was like that for a while. I think in Birth by Sleep they took out the form mechanism, but your magic was a lot better. You had better slots and stuff. Everyone was faster, and now in part 3 it's just you have Keyblades like on the quick change, and they transform, and you're running up and down, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and they've got the ride, like the attraction flow stuff.
the attraction flow, which just no matter what difficulty you're playing on, the attractions just destroy everyone.
Absolutely, there's no reason for you to not use them all the time.
Yeah. And like there's no cooldown to it. It just happens. And then like you have the Goofy and Donald combo attacks, which also just happen. And they're mega OP. Like you're playing through Kingdom Hearts and you don't even, nothing's a threat. Even at the final boss. And let's get this straight. So in every Kingdom Hearts game, there's an ultimate Keyblade, which you have to craft. And you have to craft certain things to get this Keyblade, and it's always very hard.
Yeah.
Part 1, I never got it because it was bullshit to get it.
It was, yeah.
It was mega bullshit to collect the things and to get the random drops and to juggle an enemy 100 times? And part 2 was like kind of the same. It was difficult, but it wasn't as difficult as part 1. And in part 3, it was beyond easy. You had to beat these flan type enemies that were just spread around the worlds, get the high score. Then you had to take all the pictures of secret Mickeys, get all the ingredients for food, and then do a race in the frozen world. And drops were like a lot better in this game. Like they just dropped rare stuff all the time. And I when I got the ultimate Keyblade, I got it before I beat the game. I made sure to get all my stuff buffed out before the end of the game. And then when the end of the game happened, I just kicked fucking Xehanort's ass. Like, it was like 2 minutes of me just wailing on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kingdom Hearts 3 is not a game that's going to go down in history for its difficulty, I don't think.
Or even music. The music in 3 was lackluster.
I agree. A lot of the soul of Kingdom Hearts was kind of left out of 3 IMO. It
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like they focused on making it really pretty and didn't fill out anything. Like, I swear, Olympus was just so bland.
Olympus was so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so let's get every Kingdom Hearts. There's always a, 3-hour beginning period, which is the tutorial, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just story filler. Like, in part 1, you had Destiny Island, which was, very memorable. As lame as it is, it's memorable, and it catches you right away. And then, it establishes everything. Part 2, you're taking hold of Roxas for 3 hours, exploring everything, and then you find out that, it was just a digital recreation of a memory, and Roxas is coming to terms that he's not real, and then you get the badass opening for part 2 and part 1, and then part 3 you're just in fucking Olympus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so fucking lame.
Yeah, Olympus is... And there's nothing there. Like, the worst part is, like, Olympus is burning, and you would think, like, oh, wow, this is crazy. We're, like, Olympus is on fire. We've got a lot of stuff to do. It's crazy. But there's just, like, no one, Like, the city is on fire, and no one's alarmed about it. It just feels like it's an empty mall. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the thing about Olympus is it's never been one of the worlds you go for story. Mm-hmm. It's basically just to go there to fight in the gauntlet, so that way you could fight secret bosses. In part 2, there was a story that they actually used the story, but then after you beat the short story, it just went back to fighting bosses, like gauntlet for bosses again. Mm-hmm. And then part 3, it was just like, well, now we're gonna flesh it out, and it was just a big empty hall of nothing. And you even go to like Olympus, and then you have the big fight with the Titans and stuff, and it everything in Kingdom Hearts 3 looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful. Let's get that right.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the prettiest Kingdom Hearts game for sure.
And it controls like a dream. But damn, if Kingdom Hearts 3 was just so like, I beat the game. Like I was really excited. Like, I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, but like I played through the game and I beat it, and I was just like, I felt nothing.
Yeah, honestly, I even forgot most of what the plot at the end was.
Yeah, me too.
It's nuts.
I know you go through like a maze with like some of your friends that you collected, and nobody's turned friend, and it's weird. And it's all in the Keyblade graveyard.
Mm-hmm. Which, like, again, that's like, we go from one Keyblade to a whole graveyard of Keyblades.
Yeah. It's just, Kingdom Hearts, it's so good. And progressively through the years, it just kind of got, you could say that we grew out of it, but like, it's not the point. It just, Tetsuya Nomura just kept making it more convoluted.
Yeah.
When he didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
It could have just still been about one guy, about Xehanort. Just one. He didn't need his past self.
Just one.
It could have just been about one. And even like part 1, after you beat Ansem, which was possessed by Xehanort, all the rest could have just been like, oh, well, you've uncovered my plan, and that wasn't really me, and now I'm controlling everything. You don't need past him, clone him, possessed him, and all these other
Ghost
Xehanorts.
Replica Riku.
You don't need all these people. The Organization 13 was already menacing. And,
yeah, it's true.
And you could have just had Xehanort being controlling over Organization 13, and then dispose of him when he's done with them, when they like fail him because he's that type of asshole. And then just keep the story going, like being like, oh, well, Kingdom Hearts isn't the end all be all. It's a moon and a door, and we keep finding like simultaneously what Kingdom Hearts is until you come to the conclusion of what it actually is. But like that's not what they're doing.
No, instead, they have like the story of Xehanort, and then that takes a backseat to the story that's in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, which is that
a bunch of guys in animal masks.
Yes, there's a guy named the Master of Masters, and when he was young, the Keyblade Wars happened, and he was like, wow, this is stupid. And he did a bunch of research, and he found out that there's actually 13 original darknesses, right? That's what controls all the darkness in the whole universe.
Yeah.
And he's developed a plan to seal away and destroy the 13 darknesses. And you end up killing a number of the original darknesses in Kingdom Hearts Union Key or Union Cross, which is interesting and cool. But that's the next arc. Is like Kingdom Hearts 3 ended Xehanort's arc. So no more time travel, no more past, future, present Xehanort. It's not about Xehanort anymore.
I don't know.
It's about the Lost Master arc.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, a very cool name. So that's good at least.
It only took us 20 years.
And I imagine this is where we're going to start like connecting parts from the mobile game up to like the main storyline. Specifically, like we've already Kingdom Hearts 4 is what was announced. The trailer looks sick. And one of the characters in it, her name is Sterlitzia, and she is actually from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross.
Oh, that girl in the apartment?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because when I saw her, I was like, who the hell is this?
Yeah, fun fact, the actual Square Enix website is like, oh, there's a new character, Sterlitzia, and it's not. She's not a new character. She's from Union Cross. Basically, like, the Master of Masters had this idea of, like, a bunch of leaders of Keyblade Masters that were going to do the stuff called the Dandelions, and one of the Dandelions was her. But the day before she was to become a Dandelion, somebody lured her to a dark building and killed her, or did something with her and assumed her place in the Dandelions. And so she's been missing since then. And now she's here in Quadratum. Quadratum being the final like end part from Kingdom Hearts 3, which, by the way, there was a DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 called Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind that added on to the story.
I didn't play that.
And is very critical, actually. Uh-huh.
I didn't play it because I like Kingdom Hearts 3, but not enough to play it again.
Yeah, so it seems like what it is you basically... There's new context to the final fight scenes. So, like, you know you go to the Keyblade Graveyard, and that's where, like, a series of, like, a number of boss battles and stuff start. From that point is where, like, this game starts, like, Remind. And the idea is that at the end, Kairi is separated from everyone, right? And Sora's like, no, this is stupid. I'm going to go get her. And everybody's like, Sora, you can't just use the power of waking to go get anybody that you want. And he's like, yeah, well, that's dumb. So I'm going to go do it anyway.
Like, watch me.
And so he does. And he winds up in the final world. And Chirithy, the Chirithy from the player from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is there and explains, like, yeah, if you keep doing this, you keep violating the laws of nature, you're going to lose yourself and you're going to lose all your powers. And he's like, I don't care about losing my powers. Anyway, let's go save Kairi. And so he gets transported back in time to the beginning of all these boss fights, but he's like sort of in spirit form. And so you like re-experience all these boss fights, but with extra cutscenes and with added context and this is what this person's heart is and stuff like that. And then in the end, you collect, I think it's 7 shards of Kyrie's heart to put her back together, but then the act of doing that makes it makes Sora leave, like have to leave, and then he gets thrown to Quadratum, which is also a place that was theorized about inside of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and actually Melody of Memory is another game that came out after 3 that is story critical, but is a rhythm game. So
really? No shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
dude.
just thought it was a fun rhythm game to enjoy the music.
No, dude. You got to get in there. There's a bunch of story for Kairi and Riku.
Fuck them.
Basically, in that game, it's been a year. No one knows where Sora is. Everybody's looking for him. But Riku keeps having dreams about being in this place called Quadratum and looking for Sora. And he finally tells somebody, and they're like, well, that seems important. And then Kairi has a memory that's locked away that she unlocks by playing rhythm games. And
but isn't Sora in the person in the rhythm game that you play?
In Quadratum, the location, not the rhythm game. But the rhythm game is you're playing it to unlock memories from Kairi. They think that that's the second key. So the second key is she has a memory in which when she was young and she lived in Radiant Garden, Xehanort was like, well, there's a theoretical place called Quadratum in which it's like outside of our reality. It's influenced by neither light nor darkness. And
it looks like Japan.
Yes, and it looks just like Japan. And yeah, so he's like, but it's purely theoretical. It happened to be like, because it's not reality, and it would have to be unreality, because everything in our reality is like, has light and darkness. And this is a place that has neither. And so that's the memory that she unlocks. So that's the second part. And then the third part is they go to the final world, the place with all the clouds, and they talk to an unnamed star, and the unnamed star is like, oh, you're looking for Sora. Yeah. He's probably in Quadratum. And they go, oh, well, that would have been helpful. And so now they know they got to go to Quadratum. And then at the end of Kingdom Hearts Remind, you have a fight. It's Sora versus Yozora from Quadratum.
In Yozora, the PS2 character in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yes. And you know where he's from?
Where?
Quadratum. So that's the thing. Like, the video game that he's in is called, I think, Verum Rex, right? And Nomura has already said that Verum Rex is going to be what he wanted Final Fantasy Versus 13 to be, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to work on it, and that's going to be the thing that he works on after Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh my god.
But for now, yes. Now Riku and Kairi know that Sora is in Quadratum. But Sora, in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, has just woken up, and he's only been there 7 days. So it's him and Sterilitzia in this place where there shouldn't be any light or darkness, but then all of a sudden this giant Heartless forms, which tells me that it probably, like, it's triggered by Sora being there. But Sterilitzia was sent... Sterilitzia was also called, like, a seed of light at some point, so she could be that, like, she got there so that whenever darkness showed up, she would be there to combat it, and then Sora was like an unknown variable, and
always. And then you get to see his normal feet.
This is the highlight, yes. Tell them about his feet.
So, in all of Kingdom Hearts, everyone wears stupid outfits. In Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora's like 12 years old and wears like size 24 shoes. And they look fucking dumb. And like progressively through the series, his shoes get like kind of smaller, but not really. And then in the trailer, he's barefooted, and you're like, oh, he's got normal feet. Why is he wearing these huge shoes? And everyone was like, he's got normal feet. His feet are regular. Why is he wearing stupid big shoes?
It's fashion, baby.
It's fashion. Just with all the... What was he... Sora. Okay, so Sora was wearing like long underwear with shorts in part 1 with a vest.
Yeah,
And
I believe so.
and then part 2, it was kind of that again, but black. And then 3,
Yes.
he was wearing like
It was
plaid.
like that, but red and black.
No, he had like shorts and a plaid shirt with a vest.
Yeah.
And it just stupid outfits. Riku too. Well, no, his is like the most normal, except he ties his ankles of his pants with belts, and he has a vest. And Kyrie's always just in a dress.
Up until
And,
Kingdom Hearts 3, in which she's like
yeah.
in a sick outfit.
Yeah, she has the Kingdom Hearts outfit, and now Axel, who is wearing his vest, and like the tallest guy there, but he's just as old as they are, but he's just really tall. He's just wearing his Organization 13 outfit, and his name's not Axel, it's Leah.
That's right. Got it memorized.
I fucking love Axel. My name's Axel. Got it memorized, and
I love him. He's such a little shit to everybody all the time.
he's so. I love Sora, but fuck, I wish Axel was the main character.
Okay, so I was watching through Remind the like cutscenes, and I forgot that toward the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, like you get Shion comes back and Roxas is there, and I think it's Syax that's like talking a bunch of shit to him, and he's like, "What do you mean? Tons of people care about me. I've got millions of fans." And I was like, he better not look at the fucking camera and wink at me, because like he does have. Everybody loves Axel.
Yeah.
You can't not love Axel.
He's so cool. Fuck. I wish they would make a Kingdom Hearts like series, which I heard they were going to do, but it would just make things a lot easier.
That would be nice. It would be nice. Specifically, because like we wouldn't have to do things like have a 3-hour recap on somebody's YouTube channel where they're talking over mobile gameplay footage, you know?
Yeah, and just going in through the parts that we didn't want to do ourselves because fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Star Wars got leaked, kind of. I don't think they wanted to leak it, but like when these trailers come out, people go like frame by frame to see things, and we saw an AT-AT boot.
Foot. Yeah, little footy.
So Star Wars is confirmed? Question mark.
That's what it seems like. Seems
And,
like we're pretty confirmed for probably Endor.
Yeah, it's definitely Endor because they were in a forest.
That's how you know. There's only one forest in all the universe anymore, and it's on Endor.
I'm telling you, I was on stream the other day. They're gonna go through the first 3 movies, which is 4, 5, and 6, and you're gonna start off in A New Hope, and then you're gonna do your one mission there. You're gonna go and mission around for a while, come back, and you're gonna play part 2 for the second mission, and then come back and you're gonna have to play part 3 again for the final mission of that world.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. The story of like what particular story parts do you think you'd have to help out with? Because like
So-
it couldn't be like flying around a TIE fighter or whatever. Maybe it's like, Sora, go down to the Death Star and hit the turrets with your key.
I'm sure in like part 1, it's gonna be he's gonna land on Tatooine, or where was Luke? Was Luke on Tatooine?
Yes.
He's gonna crash land there and meet Luke and Obi-Wan as like right before they're gonna go meet Han Solo in the cantina, because you have to get the cantina scene in every game that has Star Wars in it. And you're gonna fight some Heartless at the cantina as they're trying to get into the Millennium Falcon and get out of there. And as soon as they get out of there, story beats are gonna happen. Maybe you get to fly the Millennium Falcon, and then you figure out you're gonna have to go to. They didn't go to Cloud City in part 1, right?
No, that's
okay.
that's
No. That's
two.
part 2. Then we're gonna hyper jump after some cutscenes and maybe go to the Death Star, and we're gonna have to fight some bad guys along with some stormtroopers. While Obi-Wan and Luke is trying to save Princess Leia, and then we're gonna see the Obi-Wan killing, Darth Vader killing Obi-Wan scene, and I think that's like the end of Mission 1, and then Luke goes off to train with Yoda. We're gonna forget some of the other stuff.
Yeah,
and
throw it
then,
away.
Yeah, throw it away. Just forget that. We just want to hit some of the main story beats, and then they're gonna do the medal scene from part 1, and everyone and Chewbacca or everyone, Sora, Goofy, and Donald are gonna get medals except for Chewbacca. He's not getting one.
I would love if they included that same joke, like just and they didn't even play it up. They just let the same thing happen. They were like, no.
Why did he get a medal?
This dumb Bigfoot man gets nothing. He gets nothing.
Everyone helped. Chewbacca helped too a lot. He gets nothing. Han got a medal. Luke got a medal. And they're like, well, fuck you.
Listen, I'm looking at you. You get nothing.
George Lucas is like, I don't even like Chewbacca. He's not getting a medal.
I only included him because he was pretty cute. I thought it would make a good toy.
He's a comic relief. He's my toy. Only Luke and Han. They're my boys.
I said, you know what? Han needs someone to hug at night. And what better than a big teddy bear, huh?
You know what's funny though? So in part 1 of that, it's established that Han Solo doesn't believe that Jedi are a thing. That they're like, it's fake, it's whatever. He doesn't believe them, right? But Chewbacca fought alongside Jedis before that in the prequel with Yoda and everyone on planet Kashyyyk.
Listen, man, there's a lot of things in Star Wars that don't make any sense. Like the fact that it's like 10 years they're like, no, Jedis don't exist. That's stupid. Because right, the Jedi Order is exterminated, and then, Luke grows up, I guess, so it's like 20 years, right? 20-year difference. Everybody has forgotten the Jedi exist, I guess. And then again, Star Wars Episode 7 pops up, and one of Han Solo's big lines is like, it's real. All of it. And you're like,
you saw it happen.
We had no shit.
You were there. You saw Darth Vader use the Force a number of times. You've seen Luke use the Force.
Well, yeah, and Han is basically confirming, yeah, all the magic stuff is real. But it's like, how do you not know? The Death Star blew up twice. Wouldn't it be a big fucking deal if they were like, yeah, I heard that they had a Jedi. A Jedi could do magic and shit.
It's so stupid. Star Wars is very reminiscent of Kingdom Hearts, except less convoluted.
Yes, usually. But God, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 4 looks good. First of all, and all of Kingdom Hearts. It's been 20 years for us. It's like One Piece. But it's only been a year and a half, 2 years maybe for them. Maybe a year and a half. Maybe a year and a half. I think you're right. And yeah, I don't know. It's the there's a lot of things in this trailer that are kind of hard to analyze as a result of number one, the amount of time that the team has had to work on it. So you don't know if is this version of Quadratum the same one that we saw in Remind? Is it the same one that we saw at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3? Is it the same one that we've seen at inside of Melody of Memory? Or is this is this like a more of a final version? So like from a development standpoint, you don't know how much time they've worked on this game, right? So
Yeah.
who knows whenever it's going to come out, especially if they're just reusing assets.
Yeah.
And inside of the game, you also don't know how much time has elapsed, because in Melody of Memory, they say that Sora's been gone a year. And then in Kingdom Hearts 4, they say, nah, Sora's been asleep for 7 days. So you're like, what fucking time does this take place at?
Well, maybe time flows differently there.
Interesting.
So like he's been there for 7 days, but in real world, it's like been a year.
My bet is that a lot of the game takes place in the year that he is in Quadratum, and not like that we're going to be there for like months and months before finally like
breaking
Kairi and Riku show up.
Yeah. The trailer was very not almost, but like beat for beat with Digimon the movie. Like, how they come back from the digital world and they wake up and everyone's like, oh, you've only been gone for like a day. And he's like, I was in the digital world for a year. And then Greymon comes out and starts fighting Parrotmon in the streets of Japan. It's very similar. They're like very similar. Even like the buildings and stuff are similar.
Interesting.
I don't know if you've seen it. But then again,
I haven't.
Digimon is... That movie wasn't some. That movie was cut and like stitched together for America, because like they kind of just they stitched together the OVA and like some of the pilot to before like Digimon to make that movie, and then after that movie's over, because it wasn't long enough to be a long length movie, they stuck another movie at the end of it, which takes place in like the second generation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just Digimon's very confusing as well.
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like Digimon is like a nice allegory for Kingdom Hearts as well. Although I can guarantee you Kingdom Hearts is blown out of the water. But
Kingdom Hearts blows everything out of the water.
I think so too.
With just how silly and convoluting it's crazy that they decided to, instead of making it simple, make everything just they could have even stuck with like the everything in the like the Keyblade graveyards and stuff, but just to make their main villain so very convoluted is beyond me. Like
It's kind of wild that they keep making these decisions to just keep pushing it further. But at this point, if they don't, it's almost going to feel like a setback, Like, this was a game that had a relatively simple plot. That would probably be extremely refreshing for the fan base, but also there's probably some hardcore fans that are like, what do you mean that there's not a new version of Xehanort?
Yeah, like, at this point, they have to, like, outdo each game before it, and, like, they've already dug themselves into, like, a convolution hole.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way out. They just gotta keep making it more confusing. They gotta piece things together, like, on a corkboard with red string.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I imagine that, like... I imagine that at some point they've got to hit rock bottom, right? Like they've got to hit a point at which they go, "Oh no, we've gone too far. We need to stop."
Dude, 4 has to be the end. It has to come full circle at 4.
It can't. That's the thing. They're starting a new arc. It's arc. Arc.
They just better put DLC on it, because like each game comes out like every 6 years. Their fan base is gonna die.
That's true. My grandkids are going to play the last Kingdom Hearts game.
You're going to play it on your deathbed. I'm going to play it on my deathbed.
Mm-hmm. I'll be like, worth it.
Yeah, at the very, like, you're like on your deathbed and you're watching like The Secret End, and it hints to another game, and Xehanort comes back, and you're just like, oh no, fucking flatline. Not again.
Oh God, he keeps coming. Please stop.
Please, Tetsuya Nomura has to be dead at this point. He's
Yeah,
like,
but he left behind 800 pages of instructions.
Damn it. Yeah, Jesus. At this point, he has a library of just there's like 50 books, and each book is just one character and how they're connected to one another. Just
listen, this is where we're gonna introduce the fusion dance. This is the fusion between Vanitas and Xehanort. It's Xehanortus, and Xehanortus has a plan.
I'm surprised.
Fuck.
I'm so surprised that they haven't like done any fusion like with Riku and Sora, or like done anything of like that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they did basically whenever Xehanort possessed Terra, but like, it's different.
Yeah. Also, they're running out of like Disney franchises.
Luckily, Disney keeps making movies, so we've
Yeah,
still
but,
got like Coco and Kanto, Soul,
Raya the Last Dragon,
Raya the Last Dragon,
Turning Red, Star Wars, all of it.
Yep.
And all
Star
the
Wars,
Marvel,
all of Marvel.
all they're just TV shows. I was saying it earlier. DuckTales, dude.
That's true. Yeah,
DuckTales and Darkwing Duck.
They've got the they can plumb the depths of the Disney vault and get all up in there.
Yeah, they're gonna when they've reached rock bottom, they're gonna start using their old racist movies. God damn. They're gonna,
just Brer Rabbit and stuff.
No, yeah, you're gonna go to the Song of the South World.
Oh, oh boy.
I don't even think we've been to a Dumbo World. So we can go to Dumbo World, watch the racist crows.
Hell yeah.
We could we'd already been to Lion King, but we didn't do Lion King Part 2.
That's true.
We can also do the Lion King half with Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh god. Could do Aladdin 2 and Aladdin 3.
Yeah, Aladdin 3 no, because Sean Connery couldn't voice his dad. He's dead.
That's true.
No, is Sean Connery dead? Yeah, I'm sure he's dead.
I think he's alive, actually.
Yeah, but he's dead on the inside.
He looks like it. Sean Connery is a man that just looks like he's been dying forever.
Oh man, yeah. It's crazy, and not to mention like what franchises.
Oh no, he did. He died in 2020.
I knew it. I thought so. Just we could do Toy Story 2 and 3 because wait, are Jesse and Bullseye in Kingdom Hearts 3 now?
I think they're in 2.
No, in Kingdom Hearts 3. Because
I weren't they in Kingdom Hearts 2? Maybe not.
No, there was no Toy Story in Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is the first one that started using the Pixar. That's where Buzz and Woody were just sassy assholes to everyone.
That is true. Yeah.
Fucking Buzz is like, "What do you know? You're a video game character." Fucking walks away. And oh shit, I want to see it now where Woody tells off the big fucking wolf heartless.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what is okay? I'm gonna look for Woody. Tells off.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think you're right. I think both Jesse and Bullseye were just not there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Woody tells. Hold on. Your friends are your power. This is Xehanort, a different Xehanort.
Of course.
And Woody's there. Woody is so out of place here.
Listen, every character is out of place, right? Like,
yeah,
all of them are out of place in Kingdom Hearts. That's kind of the point.
Yeah. The darkness of being alone is a power even greater. It's a heart's true nature.
God.
What are not? Fucking Woody. Like, Xehanort's doing this big darkness speech, and whatever you're talking about, I don't care. Put Buzz back the way he was, then get lost. Fucking Woody.
Yeah. Woody didn't even care. Hey, ugly, shut up.
Yeah, dude. And it's so funny because Tom Hanks' brother voices him in this game.
Oh yeah.
Tom Hanks' brother voices all of Woody for his non-movie roles.
Yeah, I find that very interesting and kind
Even
of
for
a
the
cool
toys.
thing to be like, hey man, I only want to do the movies. Can you just do all the other voices? And he's like, they probably would pay you a lot of money to do all the other voices. Yeah, I know. But I want you to do it.
And then what are they gonna do? Well, there's no more Toy Stories. I forgot there was a Toy Story 4 and 5.
There was, yes.
I was like, who's gonna voice Buzz now? Because Tim Allen's a shithead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna switch the voice. I don't know if they will.
I don't know. All I'm saying is, they could do like the later. They could do like the other toys. They got a lot. They got a couple of more things that they could squeeze out of Pixar, because like they did like Nightmare Before Christmas twice and Aladdin like twice, and I think Alice in Wonderland. No, Alice in Wonderland only once, I believe. No, they did it in Birth by Sleep, I think.
Yeah. Yep. You were right. So at the very least one in Birth by Sleep. Yeah.
They did Cinderella in Birth by Sleep. Did they do Snow White? Where the hell's Maleficent?
Where's Maleficent from?
Oh, she's from Cinderella, but I mean, like, she was a behind-the-scenes player in part 1 and 2, and in part 3, was she even there? I know she was there.
Yeah, she was looking for the box.
Yeah.
That was her whole thing. She was looking for the box, and eventually she was like, oh, well, I guess we didn't find the box. Anyway, that was it.
Back to being evil. Just, dude, part
Her
1.
and Pete.
Part 1, the whole game, Maleficent was the main bad guy. And then it was just Xehanort out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but like, he was there, like, kind of pulling the strings. Mm-hmm. And then she just wasn't the boss. And it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's fine.
And
I'm fine with this. And
then part 2, she just came and started, like, just, splashing, like, making waves. And Pete was there just being the best he can be. He was just really good. He was an endearing bad guy.
Pete is never gonna not capture my heart. He's just so great.
And it was good that Goofy got his bad guy that he got to face every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then what was I gonna say, dude? So what does Yen Sid have to do with everything? Because everyone reports to Yen Sid.
Well, Yen Sid is basically just like a very, very powerful sorcerer. And that's just, he's like, he knows everything about magic, which is why everybody goes to him to like ask questions about things.
And he also bestows Keyblade Mastery on people.
Yeah, which is interesting.
If he's so powerful, why doesn't he just stop everything?
Well, he's busy. He's a retired Keyblade Master. He's old.
Getting the new voice for young Ansem, which was Drake Bell.
Really? Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
In Kingdom Hearts 3, it was Drake Bell.
Hold on.
You can look it up. It's there, Mr. Drake Campagna himself.
You mean Master Ericus?
The young kid playing chess with Xehanort.
Yes, that's Ericus.
Ericus, yeah, that's what I meant. Not Ansem.
Jesus Christ.
Ericus is Drake Bell.
Boy, and Drake Bell kind of sucks ass too, so...
Don't you mean Drake Campagna?
I do, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fee.
He speaks fluent Mexican and does Mexican music. Mm-hmm. And preys on little girls. It's not good.
Yes, correct. He's not great. We don't like him.
He's just Oh, you you just don't you hate to see it, but that's what happened, and it's bad. It's just bad. But Josh Peck, on the other hand, is a good boy.
Yeah, he is.
He's making a guest appearance on the new season of iCarly.
Aw, that's nice.
And he's also Turner in the new Disney Plus show, Turner and Hooch.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm into that.
I'm just
yeah, Josh is a pretty cool dude, from what I understand.
Yeah. He's a cool guy, and like he makes funny TikToks, and he's not a pedophile, so let's squash that right now.
Yeah, whenever him and Drake were like sort of having a beef, which is where like Josh had a wedding and didn't invite Drake, and Drake like on Twitter was like, "What ass to invite me to his wedding?" And Josh was like, "I'm just gonna let this blow over." But then like he kept like talking shit about like him and his wife, and then eventually like, and Josh says this in an interview. He's like, "This is like the most mafia thing I've ever done." But like, we were both at an award show together. And I saw him, and I walked up to him, and I said, "Listen to me right now. You were going to walk up to my wife, and you were going to apologize." And Drake goes, "Oh, okay." And then he goes and does it, and does a very long apology. And he's like, "I felt very cool doing that." I was like, "Good for you, Josh."
He's kind of I don't know. I don't know if I could win in a fight with Josh Peck right now. Like, he's gotten in shape, and he exercises. I don't know if I could win in a fight with Josh Peck. Not saying that he's imposing. It's just he's a lot more fit than I am right now.
Yeah, I know I couldn't win in a fight with Josh Peck. Mainly because I couldn't win in a fight with most people.
I don't know.
Josh Peck is most people.
I feel like I can win in a fight with like most people. I say that.
No, you couldn't, Fee. You couldn't.
I have confidence in myself, and I'm small and I'm squirrely. I could definitely do it.
Fee, you can't even stay on your goddamn feet most of the time.
Yes, I can.
Like, if somebody pushes you, like, a little bit, you fall over.
Look,
you can't stay upright.
You're making fun of the fact that I am constantly having, what's that fucking fear of heights? Do
you mean vertigo?
You're making fun of my vertigo that I was born with. And I'm very sensitive about.
Keep my name out your fucking mouth.
God damn it! Nice pivot. Nice pivot to.
We've got one more thing to talk about besides Kingdom Hearts, which we could talk about Kingdom Hearts forever and a day, and I love it.
and I never get tired. It's always fun to speculate, but god damn it, if Xehanort wasn't the bad guy for Kingdom Hearts 4, it'd be Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah. Okay. So
she's the worst.
Number one, I need to let you know that I was doing a bunch of research, like for the last time that we talked, when we talked about the slap. Yeah. I did a bunch of research, and every day since then, my phone thinks I want to know everything about Will Smith and Jada Smith.
Yeah. Ever since we talked about it, my phone. Well, I mean, your phone's always listening, but since we talked about it last week. I wake up in the morning and it's like, Will Smith is doing this. Jada Pinkett Smith doesn't need to be protected. She's at an awards show. That this happened. People are tweeting.
I got a push notification that was like, Jada looks amazing, like a golden goddess at this award. And I was like, shut up. God, I don't care.
I got that message too, and I'm just like, I thought this was going to be something like to the slap. I don't care what she's doing. Like, I just don't care. I want to know more about how bad she is.
Listen, so since basically her and Will Smith have been, like, have had a microphone on the, or not a microphone, a microscope on them for the past couple of weeks because of the slap, that's brought to light a number of videos that are interesting.
They're very damning.
To say the least. Yes. So why don't you go ahead and tell everyone about the main video that comes to light.
Okay, so this is the video from 2019, I believe, that everyone's like, oh, look, it's Jada's a bad person because of this, and yeah, I agree with her. She's kind of a bad person, but for her Red Table Talk, she I guess is going to have a guest on her show, which is like a marriage counselor named Hester. I don't know anything more about it, but she starts by putting on like an Instagram live, and she starts it with like, oh, like on her face, she's like, Hester is like the best marriage counselor, and she has helped me and Will through a lot of problems. And like then she switches the camera over to Will. Will's just chilling in his house, or chilling like there in the hallway, I guess, in their house, and he's just like, hey, you didn't ask for permission to put me on video. I don't want to be on the this video. I'm just chilling. And then while she's dogging him too, she's like, Hester's helped us a lot, and maybe she needs to help us some more. And
yeah, she's like, you see the foolishness I have to put up with.
Yeah, you see the foolishness I have to put up. And Will's like, hey, I'm just trying to get my social media is my bread and butter, and it's what what I do now, and I'm in my own house, and you didn't ask permission to film me. And then she just ends with like, yeah, Hester's a very good marriage counselor, and like it ends. And people are like, wow, Jada Pinkett Smith is sort of an asshole.
Yeah, that does not look great, right? Like, the last thing that you want to see in a video with somebody that's talking about you and your husband going to a marriage counselor and marriage counseling being good is that your husband is like, hey, I have a boundary that I'm establishing with you.
Yeah.
You were violating that boundary. Space. Please stop. And then instead of you stopping, you go, well, this is stupid and you're foolish.
And then put it on video live to see. Don't even delete it like right after.
Yeah, make sure that everyone can see it. Like, to be fair, if she's in a live video and she's like, oh, I'm going to do this video and this is with my husband. And then he's like, hey, I really don't want to be on camera right now. She's like, well, I'm already live, Will. Everyone can see what a little bitch you're being right now. Can you pep it up, Fresh Prince?
Dude, could you imagine after that video, like, what discussion they should have had? Like, because she was trying to keep her cool. Like, you could tell she was trying to keep her cool. Mm-hmm. But, like, after that, she must have, like, yelled at him or something. Like, she must have, like...
What the hell was that? Why are you embarrassing me in front of my internet friends?
Why the hell wouldn't you just say something? Just, ooh. And then, like, all the letters that she wrote to Tupac are coming out. And didn't what's her name? Her daughter, Willow, right? Yeah. I don't know if you heard about this, but, like, I guess when she was younger, she's like, oh, man, Tupac, I wish you were here right now so you could be my dad instead of, like, Will Smith, because you were so good to my mom. You were so good to... You're the best thing that ever happened to my mom. Like, what did Will Smith do?
Yeah, really? What did fucking... God, that's terrible. The thing is, like, it's very clear that they're not... Like,
they're not happy.
They're not happy, for sure.
Yeah.
Man, I can't even believe that, like... It makes sense that, like, all this stuff comes out now.
Yeah.
But, like, Jesus, man.
And then there was like, Jada was just like, I didn't need to be protected, and I'm ashamed of Will for doing what he did and slapping Chris Rock. And I'm not a wallflower. I can protect myself. I'm like, all you had to do was not, like, maybe side-eye fucking Will Smith after the joke. All you had to do was...
The thing is, like, if we didn't have this additional context, it would be really easy it would be very easy to be like, and I believe this is the case anyway. It doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
She should feel safe with, like, side-eyeing her husband and being like, "Oh God, can you believe that this guy said this?" And
Yeah,
you
can
know,
you believe he's making fun of me in my sickness in my time of like bad, but like not fly off the handle.
yeah, like yeah, and that should be like a reasonable expectation. And I will say that there's also like a thing that I saw again because I keep getting these push notifications is that like there's a clip of I think Will trying to make like a special birthday thing for Jada, and Jada is just unhappy with everything because what Jada wanted was to have a small intimate birthday, and what Will did was like this big over the top elaborate like
Yeah,
everybody's got to be here, it's very public, everyone knows, I'm inviting everyone. It's one of those things.
and
And
that's the thing.
so
Like Will Smith is like very enchanted with his family. He loves them and he wants them to love him back. And he wants to go over the top for them like all the time. And they're just not having it. And not because he's going over the top, it's because I feel like he's trying to win their affection. Because
yeah, that's honestly kind of what it seems like, and it's that like it's I'm trying to win your affection, I'm trying to be like the cool dad, I try to like, but also if that's like a chronic thing where he's like constantly doing this kind of thing, he's constantly talking to other people and being like, oh, we got to drag other people into this, we got to make this a more public thing, we got to do this and that and the other, like all of those things. Once those come up, it's kind of like, well, I don't know, now it sounds like maybe his family just wants like a normal thing and they want to be able to relax or whatever, and Will can't let it go. He can't like just have like a nice normal time with someone, without making it like a big thing. Maybe he has like a big ego. Honestly,
but
the
like,
most obvious thing is that Jada and Will shouldn't be together, right? They should just be separate.
I think it like I said it I know they're in an open relationship, but like who knows how, like I don't think Jada was truly ever in love with Will the way it seems. Like
Yeah, or at the very least the way that Will thinks that she does, I think.
Because like she was in love with Tupac and I guess they maybe dated, I'm not sure, and like she's always wishing to go back, and like Will Smith married her and she's like, I didn't even want to get married, I hate marriage and blah blah blah, and Will's just trying to be the person that he thinks Jada wants him to be.
Yeah.
And it's just he's not hitting any buttons on her. Like she's at this point she's just given up. She's defeated. She's like whatever. And like Will doesn't want to give it up. Like he's like in this deep pit of denial.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to like crawl out. And what's gonna end up happening, I feel like, and like knock on wood, and I feel like Will Smith may end up committing suicide.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I think that eventually, I think they're going to get divorced, and I think everyone but Will Smith is going to be happier as a result.
He's dude, like he's at top of his game acting right now, and like his career's already going down because of the things that are happening outside of his marriage. He could start over. He could still start over.
Yeah.
He just chooses not to.
Yeah, that's correct. Just makes the choice
and
says this is things are going to keep going down, baby.
And Jada and Willow, I assume, aren't fond of him. And Jaden, who knows what he's doing. People, like, I read that he's in a gay relationship with a rapper, or like he has been for a while, and maybe he's gay, but maybe he's not, and he likes to wear dresses, and it's weird. Jaden's weird. He's his own thing. And not that there's anything wrong with, like, being gay or like wearing dresses. It's just Jaden is like very weird and on and off of what he does. He he doesn't commit to what he thinks he wants.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm fine with anybody like expressing themselves in any way that they want and changing their mind and being whoever. Uh, that's fine, and that doesn't have anything to do with anything as far as I'm concerned.
It's just I'm just pointing out how weird Jaden is.
I mean, yeah, I don't think, number one, like, whenever you have that much money, you can be as weird as you want to.
Like,
I would probably be that weird if I didn't have to like have a job or worry about anything. I would probably have grown up really maladjusted and weird growing up in a household with two people that, one person that's very clearly obsessed with the other and the other person that just wants to leave.
Yeah, well, their house is big enough to where you could seclude yourself on the other side and never see the other people again.
That's probably also true. Yeah.
No, like, have you seen their house, their mansion? It's probably
Yeah,
bigger
than
it's
big.
It's bigger than like 4 blocks. Like
That's
you
pretty big.
have to take like a golf cart from the front of the building to the back to go to the pool, and I'm pretty sure they have like some kind of inside like things where it like gets you somewhere quick.
I'm looking at it. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that there's like a people mover in here to like a conveyor belt to move.
Would you
know?
put it past Will Smith and his family not to have a conveyor belt?
I didn't say that. I just don't think that they have one. Like, I think that they could have one. I don't think that they do have one.
I feel like they could, and they probably do.
I don't know. I'm looking at it, and I don't see the need or the place where you would put one.
Just in a long hallway, just in one of the hallways.
Just one hallway. You know what? The hallway's 30 feet long. Put a conveyor belt in it.
Yeah, just from one side to the other, just conveyor belt, and have like several exits. Look, if I had a big a mansion as they do, I'd have a conveyor belt.
I mean, yeah, but that's you.
I think conveyor belt's cool.
Look at this foolishness I have to put up.
Everyone, look how dumb he is. Look at this silly man that is my fucking co-caster.
We were gonna have a nice podcast therapist on.
Look at this foolishness. Look, I don't want to be filmed right now, Kobe. You're kind of breaking my personal space. I don't want to deal with this.
Do you see why I need a therapist for this man? For this absolute fool?
This fuel. Oh my god. First of all, I wouldn't have this mountainside mansion. It's kind of tacky, in my opinion.
It is, yeah.
A lot of empty space. A lot of a lot of just empty space. Like I would have like a 2-story house with a big front yard and backyard, and that's it. I don't need a mansion. Kind of like your house, a nice 2-story house, except a bigger backyard than yours. Because I do want a pool, not a big pool, but just like one of those not above ground pools, those an actual pool. Because I have a lot of family that like swimming and barbecuing, and they're not invited
Swimming
to
and barbecuing.
They're not invited to my house. They're not invited to my house. They get to look from the outside in. I'm gonna barbecue, only me, and I'm gonna be swimming and eating ribs.
just you in the pool, just rib sauce in the water. Everybody's like, "Fee, get out of the water." You're like, "It's my pool. I do whatever I want."
Yeah, this is my big house that I've always wanted. I can do what I want. I have the money. I can get the pool cleaned. I can do whatever I want. Knocks the fucking pit into the pool. Oh man. If I had that kind of money, I wouldn't have a big mansion, but I'd have a nice house. I also always wanted one of those driveways that goes in like a circle, so that way when you go in, you could just drive around back out.
God. It's so funny that like the things that you want, and this goes for me too, like whenever you think about like things as they apply to celebrities, it's just like nothing. It's like, yeah, I wish that I had like a nice circle driveway. I wish that I had like, I don't know, an extra closet, or I wish that I had like a basement that had this stuff in it. And celebrities are just like, well, I can't really want for anything else because I have it all.
Yeah, no shit. They're like, I mean, if I wanted it, I could have it put in like next week. Just
You know what? I guess I'll. You know, the challenge is to just get more houses in different places. That's it.
yeah, they're like, okay, so this house was very contemporary, you know, Mexican style, like Adobe front yard and stuff. This next house that I'm gonna make, I'm fucking crazy. It's gonna look like the set of Toys with Robin Williams, and escalators everywhere. 10 escalators at least. Just
Hell yeah.
3 floors, all escalators. And
You know what? There are no stairs.
and I'm gonna be like Richie Rich, and I'm gonna put a McDonald's right in my house. And
Hell yeah.
only my family and like my 2 butlers and maids get to eat there, but they still have to pay for it, and no one else can use it.
That's right. This is a for-profit McDonald's. God damn it.
It's so funny. Speaking of Richie Rich, because he had a McDonald's in his house, but it makes sense for him because they had a shit ton of workers. But do they eat for free? And are the McDonald's workers getting paid? It feels like it would just be throwing money down like the drain. Like they're not making money.
I mean, it depends, I think. So like I used to work I had an internship with a very large oil company, and they had a cafeteria like in one of their main buildings. And they subsidized all of the food that was in that cafeteria such that it was just the cost of the food. You weren't paying labor, you weren't paying anything else. So you would get crazy things like a full salmon dinner for lunch for $2.50. And that was just how much it was, because that's how much it cost to purchase the salmon and mashed potatoes and like, you know, the veggies and stuff.
Yeah.
And the trade-off is that
Work harder.
is that, you know, yeah, exactly. You're eating on campus. You're incentivized to not leave for lunch. You're incentivized to eat in the cafeteria, which means that you're going to get back to your desk faster and you're going to work more. That's the idea behind it. And it's the same idea behind all these perks that like they talk about having at places like Google and Apple, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, if you work at Google, they give you like free dry cleaning, and they have nap rooms, and they have like yoga centers and free gyms and stuff like that. Like all of those things incentivize you to stay at the office, so much so, I don't know if you know this, but it's become a relatively common thing. Not super common, not common enough that like it's happening all the time, but relatively common that a software engineer that graduates from college that gets a job at Google, there are a few a year that will not buy or rent a place. They will instead park a panel van in the Google parking lot, and that's where they live. So they go to work, and the Google building has their gym, their shower, all that stuff. Their panel van has an air conditioner and their bed and maybe like a TV or whatever. But if they really want any of like a couch, any amenities, any of that stuff, it's in the building. And because they're an employee, they can be in the parking lot and they can be in the building at any time of day. Yeah. So it honestly, like, it's at the, and rent is so crazy where they are.
Yeah.
That it doesn't make any sense to do anything else, honestly. So, kind of wild.
That is pretty cool. We should get a go-getters building and offer people free donuts.
I agree. I'm 100% down with this, especially because donuts are very cheap and I love them a lot.
Me too. Donuts and coffee. Come work for the go-getters. We have what's it called? All the donuts you can eat.
Mm-hmm. Every donut, every coffee.
All these benefits could be yours and more. But,
Jeez, it's about time. We've had our fun. We've talked about Kingdom Hearts. We've had we've had a great discussion, and then we just royally dunked on Will Smith and his very happy family.
I mean, they look happy to me. We didn't even catch up on Moon Knight.
We didn't even catch up on Moon Knight. Well, that'll just have to wait for next week, and then we'll catch up on 2 Moon Knights. It'll be 2 Moon Knight-I.
Two Moon Knight-I. Did you see the new episode, first of all, before we go?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay, so, spoilers, I guess. When he does turn to the Moon Knight, did you notice that he pulls off the moon batarangs and then doesn't use them and then just put them back?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
I thought that was I was like, why did he pull them off? He didn't do anything with them.
He just got ready.
He's
ready for anything.
Okay, that's all with Moon Knight. That's our little snippet of Moon Knight. So we're at the end of the show. This is all this week. You can find us and follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple, anything, any podcaster, anything you listen to, Facebook as well. Also YouTube. Go to YouTube, follow and subscribe because we love you and we want you to do that.
Yes,
5 stars.
We're there. Yeah, every place where you can rate us 5 stars or give us a thumbs up, do that. Then you can leave whatever comment you want.
Yeah, tell us how handsome we are and how bad we are at doing what we do. But you gotta specify that we're handsome.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, the algorithms don't know what to tell us about it.
I need to know how much of a good handsome boy I am.
That's fair.
After all that, I want you to gather all your keyblades, go to your nearest graveyard, stick them in the ground, and then go get them.
Go get them!
Get them! Swear to God. Oh, shit. I'm gonna get
off. If the Keyblade was made out of light, maybe I could have put it in my movies.
Hey, I'm the one who came up with the idea for the Keyblade. I was gonna put it in my movie, but I said Disney could have it.
I'm so generous.
I was gonna call it a Star Blade.
Sora Skywalker, more like it.
Sora didn't even have a last name. God, son of a bitch. Bye.